Hello and welcome to the most boring man on YouTube. Today we're going to go back over the series of picking up on F1 rules for the new viewers of Formula 1 to try and build your understanding of the sport and so you can enjoy it just like us fans do. Now today I'm going to cover race lengths and race distances and how that's determined. Now we see for every race that we've got different number of laps. And the FIA has set this rules on so that we get the same number of race distance and time for the fans, so they're not shortchanged. On different circuits. Every circuit that Formula 1 goes to is unique, different, concepts altogether. Some tight and twisty like you see in Monaco, some long and fast like we see in Monza, and some super long like we see in Spa, mega long tracks. Now the Formula 1 FIA set a time of a race that's got to be a minimum of 2 hours, and also a race distance. Now that's 190 miles and that's 305 kilometers. Now the time restrictions is, as I say, just 2 hours, so the race has got to be complete within that 2 hour time slot. Now there is an extension of that time, so it can last a maximum of 3 hours, and that's where there's an incident or a red flag which has caused the race to stop, or adverse weather where we've seen it's too wet and too dangerous for the drivers to go out there and race. And that time they've given an extra hour effectively to clear up any damage or wait for the weather to clear up, and then we can get the race going. Now because there's no more refueling in Formula 1, you'll see that teams are pushing the boundaries here. And they have to start the race with all the fuel that they need to finish the race, and obviously because teams don't want to carry the extra weight of extra fuel, they'll fuel their cars with just enough fuel to get to the end of the race. And I think that's why the FIA have effectively said, look, we need to have these races run within 2 hours, and this is the race distance, so teams know how much they need to fuel the car, and this will be the same for every circuit. Now every circuit and the number of laps is determined by basically the least number of laps it's needed to complete the 305 kilometer race distance. Now somewhere where you've got Spa, which is like a 7 kilometer lap, then they'll have less laps, and that's about 44 laps you'll see there. Other races you'll see like at Monaco, where basically because it's a tight and twisted circuit, they'll have more laps, but Monaco is a one-off, the only one on the circuit which doesn't meet the race distance. They have 260 kilometers there and short of the 305, and the reason for that is because it's such a short lap but it's tight and twisty and slow. They'll then meet their 2 hour race target time, and therefore they have the most laps of any circuit, 78 laps for a race distance. The key here is effectively to keep it the same across all circuits, so the fans aren't shortchanged on sort of having races where you've got short quick laps like you see in Austria, where it's just over a minute, and the race finishes in a set number of laps. There is no set number of laps in any race, and that's why it's set by time, so you'll get to see the cars for at least 2 hours, or 305 kilometers, whichever sort of comes first. You'll see most times race time finishing about around an hour and a half to hour and 45 minute mark. And I hope that helps you explain and understand why we've got varying race distances and times, and number of laps at every circuit that we go to in Formula 1. I hope that covers the question there for you. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and comment. I'll see you in the next video.